Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to another video. My name is Kevin and today I wanted to talk about why I've become so cheap. And I swear this is like a disease. Ever since I started investing my money into the stock market and seeing how compound interest works and how much my money has grown, there's literally like nothing in this planet that I want to buy more than an asset. And I think once people start to experience these compound interests on their money, you too will never want to spend your money on a t-shirt or a pair of pants or a jacket that costs $1,000. Because with $1,000, you can make that into $4,000 over a couple of months. Well, that's only today because the stock market is really good. Right now, we're in a very bullish market. But basically what I'm trying to say is that you can take that $1,000 into $2,000, then reinvest that $2,000 again, make it into $4,000 and so on and so forth. I think once I started to realize, or once I started to experience this compound interest, I started to become more and more cheap, and I started to buy less and less things, like things that I don't need. I don't even buy clothes anymore. I just got all these new clothes as gifts for Christmas. I literally have no furniture in my house because I don't find any use for it since I'm not gonna be here for that long, and I haven't bought a new car because I couldn't afford it and because I feel like it's a waste of money. Like, why would I spend $20,000 on a vehicle? You know what I can do with $20,000 in the stock market? I can probably make that into $100,000, $60,000. That's already like a bunch of things. And then I basically wanted to make this video to tell you guys to stop spending your money on dumb things. And basically every time you spend $1 towards something that's stupid and something that you don't need, or something that isn't helping you reach your goals or is making you happy, every time you spend that dollar, just realize that you're that much more of a slave to a job. If you can obtain a certain amount of assets and those assets can pay you a salary, let's say $100,000 worth of stock, and it pays you $3,000 a month through dividends, and you can live off of those $3,000, then you no longer have to work. And this is crazy because I've become super cheap this year, and something that I've really noticed is that money really does accumulate. And it accumulates really fast. Set small financial goals for yourself. So if you're making, like, let's say $5,000 a month and you want to have $20,000 in your bank account, save up those $5,000 each month until you make it to $20,000, and then reward yourself. Buy yourself whatever it is that you want. Then set your second goal, make it to 40,000. Save up to 40,000 and then reward yourself just once. With this plan, you can use that money that you have saved up to invest into a stock market or to invest into something that gives you money back. Depending on how much return you get on your investment, in 5 years, if you're making, let's just say you're investing $50,000 and you're making back $50,000, in 5 years, you will already have a 10 years worth salary. So now, because you're 5 years in advance to your financial whatever, so say in 5 years, we were making $50,000 each year, so you would have made $250,000. But let's pretend you would have invested that and you got a 100% return on your investment, which is very possible with today's stock market. You would now have $500,000. So you've just gained 5 years of your life. And what this means is that now you can quit your job and basically you have 5 free years to live because you have $250,000 extra that you didn't have before. But if you're really smart, then you can use that money and invest it into a business or invest it into an asset or invest it into something that's going to pay you back. But now you're not working for a company. Now you have your own asset and that asset is paying for you. So it only took 5 years. Do you get it? So after 5 years, you no longer have to work for anybody. You're a free person. Say you have $500,000 and you put it into a building and it pays you, and you Airbnb it, right? And you have, like, let's say 10 rooms and you're making $50 per day. That's $500 per day times 30. That's $15,000 per month. Your mortgage on that $1 million building is, say, $3,000 per month. You now have $12,000 in your pocket for the rest of your life. Let's just say Airbnb doesn't work that well for a couple of months. All right, you still have, like, let's say you're making $8,000 half, right? You're still making $8,000. Your mortgage payment is $3,000. And you still have a net gain of $5,000 per month. Now what happens with that? So now that you have this $5,000 income each month, which is like around like a $60,000 salary, you have this $5,000 income, and then that's just passive income. So now you can go out and do whatever it is that you want to do. Say you want to start your own like cafe, or say you want to start your own photography business, just in my example, or your own video business, right? You now have $5,000 in passive income, and now whatever money you make from video, that's just added income to yourself. So now let's just pretend you're making $3,000 per month through videos, making music videos or whatever, wedding videos. You probably make more than $3,000. Now you have $5,000, now you have $3,000, now you're making $8,000. And if you make $10,000 per month, now you're making $100,000, and you're doing what it is that you want to do. In my case, I wanted to do video, so I would be making $100,000 doing what I love, and I'm not relying on one source of income. So I'm not dependent on that income. I can pick and choose when I want to work, if I want to take on the job or not take on the job, and that's a very powerful position to be in. Not only that, but if you buy like an asset like a building for $1 million, let's pretend that in 10 years it raises up its value by 100%. That building is now worth $2 million or $3 million. So now your rents also went up for Airbnb. Maybe now you're charging $80 per night. So do you guys get it? You're making a bunch of passive income now, and now you can choose to do what it is that you want to do. It only took you 5 years of investing your money into the stock market and reaching 100% return on investment, which is very possible even with index funds like ARK Invest or any like growth stock like Tesla. Like last year it was at $400. Today it's at $4,000. That's a 10x return. So if you would have put in $250,000, you would have 10x that, so probably like $2,500,000. I just really wanted to emphasize on that point that stop spending your money on stupid things. Start putting your money into assets, and then let your assets pay you, and then you can do whatever it is that you want to do. Because the more assets you have, the more time you have. And the more time you have, the more selective you can be about what you want to do, when you want to do it, and that's freedom. So stop being a slave to your job and stop spending your paycheck completely. Try to save 80% of your check. That once you experience that extreme compound interest, you will never, ever want to buy something that's stupid, because you know how much money you can make with that money. You get what I'm saying? So stop buying things you don't need, start investing in assets, and stop trying to make quick money. You will get rich. There's a lot of ways to make money, but it does take money to make money. So save your money. That was all for me. I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.